guys, do you guys consent to being recorded from my Speech 101 course?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. How about you guys?
Yes.
Yes? Awesome. Thank you. My name is Bianca Malagon, and today I will be doing a presentation on how bees make honey. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, about 3/4 of the world's flowering plants and about 35% of the world's food crops depend on animal pollinators to reproduce. That's 1 out of every 3 bites of food that we eat. Bees play a much bigger role in our lives than we realize. Today, I will be explaining the fascinating process of how bees make honey. It amazes me how such tiny insects can work together to create something that humans have relied on for centuries, whether for food, medicine, or simply its sweetness. In the next few minutes, I will walk you through the step-by-step process of how bees produce honey, from gathering nectar and flowers all the way to the finished jar of honey that we enjoy. Bees begin their work by visiting flowers to collect nectar, a sugary liquid produced by plants. According to America's Test Kitchen's YouTube series, The Science of Honey, pollination is crucial for certain crops like kiwis, melons, and squash. Without bees, their fruit production can drop up to 90%. This shows that collecting nectar not only helps bees, but also keeps most of our food crops alive. Once bees have gathered enough nectar, their work is just beginning. The real transformation happens back inside the hive. Once a bee collects nectar, she stores it in a special organ called the honey stomach. According to Buddha Bee Apiary, the honey stomach is not part of the regular bee's digestive system. In fact, it acts as a temporary holding sac. A fun fact, a bee can hold up to 60 milligrams of nectar, which is more than half of its own body weight of about 100 milligrams. While in storage, enzymes in the bee's body begin breaking down the nectar's complex sugars, starting the chemical transformation into honey. This diagram here shows the important enzyme called invertase, which breaks down the main sugars in nectar, known as sucrose. This one right here. The process breaks the sugar down into two simpler sugars called glucose and fructose. This chemical change makes the nectar sweeter and helps turn it into honey. After the chemical process starts, the bee must deliver the partially transformed nectar to others back at the hive to continue the job. When a bee returns to the hive, she transfers the nectar to a house bee through a mouth-to-mouth exchange, which is a process called trophallaxis. This process spreads the enzymes further and help remove some of the nectar's water content. The constant passing and process creates a more concentrated liquid that's ready for storage. Once the nectar has been processed by several bees, it's time to store it safely inside the honeycomb. Inside the hive, bees deposit the processed nectar into hexagon-shaped cell walls like these. According to PhD at Living's YouTube series and video, Chemistry of Honey, the nectar still contains about 50 to 70% of water in this stage. And to thicken it, the bees regulate the hive temperature to about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And they flap their wings to circulate air, reducing the moisture to about 17%. After thickening the nectar into the perfect consistency, the bees take one final step to preserve their creation. Once the honey reaches the right consistency, bees cap each honeycomb cell with a thin layer of wax that you can see right here. It's the white color compared to the last picture that I just showed you. And the sealing protects the honey and allows it to be stored for months and even years. Because of its low water content and high sugar concentration, the sealed honey never spoils. making it one of nature's longest lasting foods. And when all of this work is complete, we finally get the golden product of honey. According to the Carnegie Museum of Natural History's article, A Rainbow of Honeys, the type of flower that a bee visits affects the color and the flavor of the honey. This article also shows or explains that big companies often blend honey from different flowers to get the golden color people expect in the grocery stores. A fun fact, in 2012, a group of bees in France started producing honey in strange colors like blue and green. It turned out that instead of nectar, they were eating the waste from a Mars candy factory, which makes M&Ms. In conclusion, making honey is truly a team effort inside the beehive. From collecting nectar and turning it into honey with enzymes, to carefully drying, sealing, and storing it, bees work together through an incredible process that gives us the honey we all know and love. So the next time that you drizzle honey on your toast or stir it into your tea, think about the thousands of tiny workers who made it possible. Because behind every drop of honey is dedication, teamwork, and the beauty of nature at work. Thank you everybody for listening.